When was the last time India's GDP actually contracted? This was way back in 1979-80 when there was a big political crisis in India, when the Janata government fell and a new Congress government came in. The year was 1979-80. There was a sharp devaluation in the Indian rupee. There was a rise in price of oil. Nobody believed that a recession in India would come and India's full year's GDP will contract. Well, what is going to happen this year? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Berich. Initially, most multilateral agencies and so-called experts were saying that India will grow between 1 to 2% this year. As the Prime Minister took to television to address the nation and said the lockdown will go on till May 3rd, and some districts will have a slight relaxation from March to April 20th. But an increase in the number of COVID cases means there would be a complete shutdown. This means India is practically shut down for 43 days and much before that. So practically half of March and complete of April is wiped out. Now the experts have gone back and said that India's growth will be either zero or contract by -1. Arvind Subramaniam, in a web chat with the National Council for Applied Economic Research, NCAER, said that the projections were highly optimistic and India will definitely contract by more than 1%. How do we know for sure? Well, by the end of June and the first week of July, we will know. Because we don't have to trust the government figures. There are 17 high-frequency indicators, such as auto sales, passenger air traffic, and so on. If you can look at what April, May, June would look like in last year and compare the same high-frequency data for April, May, June of the current year, 2020, you will know what it is. People are expecting 10 to 15% contraction. Once we have calculated the contraction, then if you can project the growth for next 9 months, we will know the full year growth of last year and how much we have to reach to get there. There is no way the 15% contraction is going to be made up in 9 months. What are the ramifications? The ramifications are GST collections are going to collapse. Income tax collections and direct tax collections corporate tax collections are going to collapse. Government's fiscal deficit is going to go out of the window. The government budgeted 2.1 lakh crores from disinvesting Bharat Petroleum, LIC, Power Grid and etc. That is not going to happen. So we are going to miss the fisc by a big mile. Forget 3.5 and 1% of off-market borrowing, which would have taken it to 4.5. If the government does not give any fiscal stimulus and allows status quo to continue, you can safely estimate that the government will be forced to borrow another 1 or 2% to meet the fiscal deficit. So I am looking at a fiscal deficit of anywhere between 5.5 to 6.5 if the government does not give a stimulus. It's high time the government moved to stimulate the economy by putting 4 or 5% to the level of 4 or 5% of GDP. This will mean two things. In the last quarter, consumption will kick up faster, so some taxes will be collected. So the overall GDP, fiscal deficit to GDP, may be between 8.5 to 9. But that's a price we have to pay. If you don't pay the price now, the price will be a slow deflation and slow death in jobs, and a greater number of people will fall into poverty line. In India, the official poverty line may be 25%. About 40% of Indians are just above the poverty line, just about the sustenance level, depending on day-to-day jobs for their livelihood. There are about 40% of India is just above the poverty line, which are looking for day-to-day jobs for their livelihood and sustenance. Those people are going to be without a job for next 6 months. This is a great human tragedy. The government needs to act now. It's dragged its feet enough. Like I said somewhere else, the great Infosys and TCS will not be able to last 100 days without a single rupee of revenue. If cash-rich companies cannot survive 100 days, imagine the plight of the small and medium sector. Unless there's a big stimulus and a write-off in the banking sector and this bailed out, this problem is not going to be solved. All this is a result of an unplanned knee-jerk lockdown. So, I still maintain my point. If you have missed this bus in buying stocks, there's plenty of bus. Please wait in the bus stand. There are plenty of buses that are going to come. We can hop on any time over the next 3 years. Thank you for watching Berich. If you like this content, please share it among your friends and relatives. Please press the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification and suggest that your friends do so if you like my videos. There's a WhatsApp number given below. You could send a message in that. My team would contact you for my books. If you want to contact me directly, please send me a mail at berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for watching Berich.